Today, we're going to be going over forgotten features in every Call of Duty. Some of these people want back, and some are probably good that they're gone. Oh, and you know we're going to be ranking these on a tier list. Let's dive in. Okay, first up, we have Call of Duty 4, and I'm going to be going with matchmaking. Now, let me explain this one. If you're a fan of Call of Duty, you've been around for a while, when you click Find Match, it finds you a match. Now, back then, it was way more based on connection, whereas today, it's based on skill, let's be honest with you. But Call of Duty 4 on the PC had something that Battlefield fans have had forever, and that is server browser. Now, pretty much to explain this, you pretty much can get exactly what match you want. You can look for certain maps, certain modes, connection, whatever you want, and there's just a random pool of players that have all selected that server. I don't know why this never came back. It doesn't make sense, and at the same time, we've been looking for this for the console versions of COD forever, but we've never gotten it. And I don't know if we ever will. Now, next up brings us Call of Duty World at War, and we got two on this one. One that I think fans are gonna want to see return, and the other one, they probably despise, to be honest with you. First up, we gotta go with the campaign. World at War is severely underrated, a great story, and the best part about it, ladies and gentlemen, they had a feature called co-op campaign. It allowed you to play with your friend or a family member, and you got to enjoy those memories with somebody that you loved. I mean, why don't we have this? I don't know. And then the other one, in the multiplayer scene, now there were some massive maps in this, about 3 or 4, and the maps had the ability to use tanks. Tanks were in 6v6 multiplayer maps. The response to these was not very good, and that's probably why we've never seen them return. Now, Modern Warfare 2 is something that I don't know why I thought of this one, but it's the changing of hosts. Now, let me give some of you guys, the OGs, some PTSD. You're playing a great game. You call in dogs, you call in a helicopter, and boom, you get this message. Host ended game. Yeah, back in the old days, if a player rage quit and he was the host, the game would just end. There was nothing you could do about it. But MW2 finally fixed this issue. And if the host ended the game, it would find a new one and you could continue your streak and actually get a nuke. Just imagine how many people would have quit back then if they were getting nuked on and the host ended game. Oh, I mean, I can't imagine the rage. Now, Black Ops 1 brings us to combat training. Now, this is a funny one. This was actually a separate mode from public and private match. So you had the option to play certain modes like TDM, hardcore TDM, against bots of certain difficulty. Now, the crazy part about this mode is that it had its own ranking system. So realistically, you could have been a master prestige in combat training and then a level 1 in regular multiplayer. I'm not gonna lie, I actually think that this is a great idea, a great mode for somebody who's new to the game, want to get their feet wet, learn the ropes of the game, and then once they're ready and acclimated, go dive into a real match and see how you stack up. I don't know why we don't bring this stuff back. Now, Modern Warfare 3, the OG one again, is the streak system. I to this day think this is one of the best things that this game did, and we don't give it enough credit. They pretty much gave you the option to have 3 different set of streaks. Kill streaks, which of course is you earn based on how many kills you get. If you die, it resets. On top of that, they had the support streaks, which you could earn, and even after you die, they did reset, but the streaks were a little bit more helpful for the they were a little bit more helpful for the team. So for example, like a UAV or an advanced UAV or ammo or armor, stuff that was going to help people around you. I kind of like that. And then the final one was the specialist streaks, and pretty much every 2 kills you got a perk, and this allowed for a ton of variety. And then at the end of the day, if you got 10 kills, they gave you everything. It was you had every perk in the game. And believe it or not, it was balanced pretty well. And this feature has never really come back. It's come back in pieces, but not all 3 of them have been together in one system. I don't know why. Now we have Black Ops 2, and this one is going to be very, very simple. I think most of you remember one thing about the multiplayer menu. That was the globe showing us the heat maps and the player counts of who was online. I mean, I remember seeing how big the numbers were on this map, and it just saddens me that they left this feature behind. And honestly, with all the news and numbers coming out, maybe we know why. Now we have Ghosts, and with Ghost, I actually thought field orders was something that was a feature that was really good, and we kind of forget about it. It was this blue suitcase that was dropped by the first player to die in a match. Now, once a player picked up this suitcase, they were given a random task to get done, whether it was get 1 kill from behind, earn 2 kills while crouched, or humiliate an enemy, and that was actually teabagging an enemy. They would never do that today. But if the player succeeded, they'd actually earn a care package, and that care package could be all sorts of stuff. It could be a various kill streak reward, and it could be something very simple from a SATCOM, or to literally a chem strike, which I know you guys remember Strike Zone. It literally became a different map. That was the field order in that one. I felt like anytime I got a field order on Strike Zone, I was getting the chem strike and blowing up the map, and it was completely different. What can you do? On top of that, there were certain maps that had, I guess, map level specific streaks, and there was Michael Myers on the Fog map, and then there was Predator on Ruins, a collab that actually felt kind of tied to the game, not like we get now. So field orders, I wouldn't mind seeing them again. Advanced Warfare. Now this one, I remember, and I feel like I felt like I was crazy when I was remembering it, but it's a real thing. I looked it up. It was the speed reload. And this, I'm gonna read it from the COD wiki. This feature was a mechanic tied to the fast-paced movement and gunplay. So unlike traditional reloading, speed reload allowed players to bypass part of that reload animation for a quicker return to firing. But it came with a trade-off. Here's how it worked. If you emptied your magazine completely, the next reload would be noticeably faster than a standard reload. This was because the game skipped the step of removing the partially spent magazine and went straight to inserting a new one. Honestly, I mean, if I could sum this up, it felt like you would shoot your gun and then you would do quick reload, and it would give you like half your magazine, but you reload very quick. Or you could do the standard reload and get all your ammo. So that's how I remember it. The COD wiki is a little bit more serious, but it's a small feature, but it was kind of like, okay, this is cool. Why don't we just have this in every COD? It's not like it's a crazy deal. Now, Black Ops 3, I'm going to be going with Specialist on this one. Black Ops 3, you know, we made sure we toned down the movement from Advanced Warfare. The jetpacks weren't as crazy. We had some wall running, but then they added that Specialist system where each character had their own ability, and then you would earn it over time. And I think for one, this just added variety and storytelling to the multiplayer. And I just don't think Call of Duty in general with multiplayer has that new story that's fresh every round, like maybe like a Warzone match does. But this allowed for that. And I don't know if we want to see Specialists return every single year, but I don't know. I always go with that, like we should have a futuristic COD, then a modern COD, maybe then a classic COD, like rotate and just continue to support all three of them for the people that like those games. Because some people like modern, some people like World War II, some people like futuristic. Just put a developer on each one, and the futuristic one can have Specialists. And then you have 3 games that people can play. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud here, folks. Okay, we have gotten through 9 Call of Duty, so it is time to rank those 9. First, we're gonna start off with Call of Duty 4 server browser. Listen, it's pretty simple here. I mean, one of the best features in any game that has it, and for some reason Call of Duty refuses to do it. We had it in what, 1 or 2 Call of Duties, and that was it. Please bring back this feature, please. World at War, we had 2, remember. Co-op campaign, that's an A, obviously. Everybody wants that feature. The last Call of Duty that had it was like Black Ops 3, and we don't need to talk about that campaign, let's be honest. So we missed some co-op campaign, gaming with friends. Even if it was online gaming with friends, co-op campaign, I'm down. Tanks, not gonna lie, was not a fan of tanks. I get it if they're in the war mode or in the big team battle version of Call of Duty. Tanks all you want. 6v6 multiplayer, no thank you. That's an F. That's an F idea. Changing of hosts, this features, I mean, this has got to be one of the simplest but greatest features we possibly have ever had. The ability to switch like that, I mean, that saved a lot of games for a lot of people. I'm going A tier, man. A tier. Black Ops 1 combat training, I'm going to say the same thing. Like, these are some features I don't know why they went away. It's an A tier. Let the people grind a little bit, and then they can go into regular matchmaking. Modern Warfare 3 streak system. There might be a lot of A's on this list because there's some features that should just come back, and I don't know why they are not in it. A. Allow me to just have more variety in streaks. A. Black Ops 2, the heat map. It's a small thing, guys. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing. Sometimes small things can equal big things. I'm going A. A pretty much means bring this back now. F means never again. Now, field orders, this was a really cool feature. Do I really care if they bring this one back? Not really. It wasn't, you know, I don't want to say I didn't care about it, but I think it was unique and cool. Would it affect me either way? Not really. For me, this is like a C tier field order thing. I like the rewards. I don't know. It just doesn't. Either way it could happen. You know, it comes back. I'm happy. If it doesn't, I'm happy. Now, Advanced Warfare speed reload. This is a small thing, and you know how I said small things can sometimes equal big things. This is a small thing that was just really a small thing. I don't. Honestly, the only thing I care about in reloading is the ability to cancel reload. If we can cancel reload, I'm good with that. MW2 didn't allow us to do that. The new one. Speed reload, I think it's like C tier, middle of the road. Either way, I mean, it's a feature that, I mean, can't they easily add this back? It doesn't take a lot of effort, I feel like. And Black Ops 3 Specialist. This may surprise you. I would be down for these to return in Call of Duty. Probably not A tier, but B tier, I think I'd probably land on, because as long as they don't do them like they did in Black Ops 4, where they were just such a headache and a disaster. BO3, they were really balanced. And if they're balanced, it's B tier. You get it? Double B's. Now, Infinite Warfare, I gotta be honest with y'all. I think I played this game for about 12 hours. As soon as COD 4 Remastered got announced, I knew I wouldn't be touching this game. But the one thing that I do remember is them kind of improving the supply drop system with salvage. And salvage pretty much allowed you to earn items naturally. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I think there's going to be like 3 people that played this game, so I don't think anybody's going to know, even if I was wrong. Now, World War II, you guys know exactly where I'm going with this. I mean, come on now. The headquarters! Guys, I know it was kind of a copy of Destiny, but I just don't care. I absolutely love this feature. The firing range, opening supply drops with people watching, the 1v1 pit, just doing stupid stuff with your squad, butt sliding around the headquarters. It's got to be one of the coolest features. And the fact that they've only done it one time and never tried it again has literally made no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. Now we have Black Ops 4. And I think with Black Ops 4, we got to go with healing. And by healing, I mean auto healing. So there was like a stim shot that you pretty much were given automatically in this game. On top of this, we had the first ever Call of Duty with 150 health. This game never really gripped me. I never really wanted to play it. I did play Blackout, but I did not play the multiplayer a lot. And I think it honestly was because of these 2 features. I'm not a fan of auto healing for some reason. I feel like if I get somebody one shot, that was because I had positioning on them. I made the right play. And the fact that they could now auto heal, re-challenge right away and kill me, it didn't make sense to me. I think that's a big reason. The skill gap was definitely massive in this game. People that were super sweaty will probably love this game. And I'm in that middle range. And I never vibed with the auto healing. I really didn't. I'm cool with it being like a perk or like an attachment where you can stim like it is now. But not everybody needs to have this unless they select that attachment. Now in Modern Warfare 19, I'm just going with the mechanics as a whole. I think this is kind of a feature, but if it's not, I don't really know. It's my video, so there's nothing you can really do about it. But I felt like the mechanics were just fantastic. The movement, the way the guns felt, the sound design, the graphics. I don't know about you, but I feel like every single game since this has been a step down in all of these categories. Now, I'm not saying this game was perfect. I'm not saying the decisions that they made were even that good. But overall, it felt like this game had some weight to it, and it was good weight. But ever since then, I feel like it's fallen flat with the design. Now, for Cold War, I initially had health bars, and then I realized that health bars were in Black Ops 4, so I had to scratch that one. Here's the one that they brought into the game that I still don't know why they did it. This is the score streak system. Now, their system was a little bit different. Usually, they introduced the score streaks way back in Black Ops 2. You would earn them, all good. You could do objective based, and the kills would count, all that. It was a great system. Well, they brought back that system, but this time you just kept earning towards your streaks over time. So pretty much they were like participation trophy streaks. No matter how long or how well you did, eventually you would probably get your streaks. Now, maybe not the major ones, the big boy ones, but UAV, those simple ones, majority you were getting them in the game. Cold War, no participation trophies, please. Vanguard is a pretty simple one. It's called combat pacing, and I actually really like this one. This was pretty much you getting the ability to select your matchmaking style. It was if you wanted slower paced games or fast paced games, you had the option, and the modes were called tactical, assault, and blitz, and all of these had different styles and maps. Honestly, I was kind of looking for Vanguard stuff that we forgot about. I mean, you could pretty much do the whole game, but I figured combat pacing was an actual feature, so you know. Now, Modern Warfare 2 is field orders. Now, I know we've gotten field orders in other games like MW19 and MW3, Vanguard, all that stuff, but I want to go over this one because this one made a lot of people upset, and it's dead silence. Yes, Modern Warfare 19 had a dead silence field order, but this one, for some reason, I don't understand what they were thinking. Of course, you need to earn these over time, and this would give you the ability to have silent footsteps. That's what dead silence is. But for some reason, when you used your dead silence field order, it made the loudest noise I've ever heard, and it alerted people around you that you were using it. But the point of using dead silence is to kind of be stealth, and I don't want them to know that I'm being stealthy. Luckily, this is the last time we'll probably ever see field orders in Call of Duty again, at least dead silence. I don't know what MW2, I don't know where their head was during this game. You guys know that by now, though. I've said it 1,000 times. Now, MW3, I think this one, I mean, everybody, it's not really forgotten, but it kind of is. It is, at least by the developers. This is aftermarket parts. And these were pretty much essentially special conversion kits or mods that drastically altered how a weapon functions. It would change the category or the play style entirely. It was actually super fun, and it was something that you could earn literally like every week. There was a new aftermarket part, and you would have guessed it, a system that everyone loved. They removed it from Black Ops 6. Shocking. And lastly, speaking of Black Ops 6, I know this game is relatively new, but I feel like the feature I'm talking about here is Meat Shield. Yeah, I said that out loud, Meat Shield. BO6 flaunted a bunch of new features, and one of them was the ability to take your opponent hostage and use them as bait, yell at them in the hot mic and all this stuff. The first week of BO6, I saw about 5 million TikToks with people trolling with this feature.
Yeah, Sean, coming with Diddy now. At Facebook friends who can stand together, USB.
Bro.
Fast forward to 6 months after release, I don't know if people even do it anymore, to be honest with you. So, I guess nice try, but it's gonna get forgotten. Now we have the second half of games as we wrap up this video. We're gonna start with Infinite Warfare with the salvage. Like I said, I played this game 2 hours total. I feel like this one for me, I guess it was a better system that we had before the supply drops or during the supply drop era, but we're never gonna get supply drops. So where do you rank this? I don't know, D tier, C tier? I have no idea. Editor, you put this wherever you want to. C or D, you choose. Now we're boots on the ground, World War II HQ. A times 100, times a million. Black Ops 4, we have auto healing. Not a fan of auto healing. I really don't want to see this back. Like I said, as long as it's an equipment or a perk or whatever, I'm cool with it. Not everybody should have this. I'm going F tier, honestly. F tier. Modern Warfare 19 mechanics. The engine should be the engine we should have went with for the rest of time and just built off of. We never will do that again, but it's unfortunate. I'm going A tier for MW19 mechanics. If we can somehow go back to those, sign me up. Cold War, loopable streaks, earnable streaks, participation streaks, whatever you want to call them. F. Stop it. Get some help. Vanguard combat pacing. Vanguard's kind of just like, I don't know, you know. C tier, nice little addition. Didn't really affect me either way. That's usually where C tier lands. MW2 field orders. F. Dead silence should always be a perk. End of story. MW3 aftermarket parts. A. Why are we not doing this in every Call of Duty? There needs to be things that just reoccur every Call of Duty. Aftermarket parts is one of them. A. And lastly, Black Ops 6 meat shield. I'm going to say it. It's one of those features where I don't care either way. Yes, no. Doesn't really matter. To me, that sits in C tier then. Simple as that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the forgotten features in every Call of Duty. If I missed some, let me know in the comments down below. I don't think I did. Also, I want to do something special here. A lot of you guys have become members on YouTube in the last couple weeks and months. I just want to shout you guys out. I want to put your names on screen. I really appreciate it. You allow me to create content, do my thing here. So I'm very thankful. If you want to join and become a member, feel free to do so. I think we have like 99-cent options and you can just support me for my content. You don't have to though. Just watch the videos. That's enough support, my friends. So thank you very much. If you do want to watch another video, go click over there. Also, if you have suggestions for videos, somebody commented that the other day. Hey, you should have a suggestions box. Okay, here's my suggestions box. Comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. If you like this video, like the video. We'll see you in the next one.